Yeah, this video is to actually touch on some points in regards to the blade assembly for the drill operated wire stripper. Basically, the way your blade assembly is set up and why I think the blade may be moving slightly back and forth, wobbling, is if you look at your blade assembly on your machine, it's got a blade and it's got two pieces. These are actually, I don't even, the bearings are actually on the outside of the shaft here. It's hard, you can't see them, but these two pieces here basically lock the blade into place, and they screw together kind of like I call them like a clamshell, and they screw together and hold the blade in the middle, and then tighten with these two set screws, these two Allen set screws. That blade can become a little bit loose, and it moves around. It can move around. It's, you know, if those Allen set screws become a little bit loose, just from vibration use, just sometimes the way it's set up, it just needs adjusting. To kind of give you an idea of the way the blade assembly looks, if you look at these two pieces, hold on one second here. Sorry. You'll see these two pieces screw together like this. I just unscrewed these. So you got one piece, the thread, you have your blade. So what you would do if you were to replace this blade also. And notice how this sits on here. If it's off to the side a little bit, you can understand how it might wobble. But it sits right here. There's a little lip there that it should sit on. And then you simply take the other piece and you screw this on. This threads back on here. And then when you're done, these two set screws, there's one on this side here, you can see it, and on the opposite side, those will actually, there's a shaft that goes right through the middle here, and those of course would tighten onto that shaft to keep the blade from moving. So that's one possibility. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with your drill or your wire stripper. This is maybe off a little bit inside the clamshell there. That's the only thing I could think of that could be possibly happening there. We could send you a whole new blade assembly, you know, and you can set it up like that. No problem. That's not a problem. But I think once you get inside there and you remove this piece here, you have to replace it. Remove this plate here, and then take this part and then replace it. I think you'll notice that the blade is probably a little off center, and that's why it's moving. Otherwise, this doesn't move. It's got the bearings that keep it, you know, from shaking. But this is a pretty tight fit, even with the bearings. So you avoid a lot of that. As far as the wheels below, you might want to check those and make sure those are centered also. I notice on this machine here there's a little gap, which is okay, but sometimes that could create an issue. Just same thing. These things have set screws in them. Let me see if I can find them here. You can see the set screws here. Take an Allen wrench and simply loosen those up, and then just move the wheels together so that they're touching, butting up against each other, and then just tighten back the set screws. Okay, that should resolve most issues with any blade assembly problems, or the blade moving, or the wire coming off to the side. It's usually a very easy fix. And then another thing I want to stress, which we've done in the paperwork here, but lubricate all moving parts very well, please. If you start getting high RPMs, this could start to break down, and you don't want to have that happen. So make sure you lubricate well. That keeps the bearings nice and loose. nice and, not from getting too tight together. And lubricate everything. I would say do the wheel casing or the blade casing, the blade. Try to get inside here the bearings, with the WD-40 or something like that, and also get in here with the wheel and on the wheel shaft. Doesn't hurt. And then, like I said, before and after each use, do that. Another thing I wanted to touch on real quick is feeding the wire through this the plates here. It's important that you adjust these plates so that the wire, I mean, if you're putting in 3-4 millimeter wire through here or something small, and you've got the plates wide apart, it's not doing you any good. You want to clamp these down such that they're holding that pretty firmly in place. You don't want it snapping down on it, but you want it pretty tight so that when the wire does go through, it's staying in the middle, it's staying centered on your wheels. That's the whole point of using these two plates here. And the more you have that centered, and the easier the wire will just start flying through here and stripping. Like I said, it's not always going to do it perfectly. You might have to guide it through a little bit at times and adjust some things. But that's part of any machine, especially something that I mean, this is a great machine for $100, but it's going to take some trial and error to get it right. So those are the main things. Another thing I think some questions were on the crank arm. When you get the crank arm and it comes like this, you just flip it around. Most people aren't going to be using the crank arm, but you're going to be hooking up your drill to this, and follow the RPM settings on the guidelines that we gave you. If there's any questions on that, please feel free to ask. If you start exceeding those, it's at your own risk. You're going to destroy the machine. And we offer a parts exchange, or parts replacement warranty. But if it's due to negligence or misusing the machine, we're not making much on these machines, so please take care of them, and please use sound judgment when you are using the machines. And that should be about it, I think. Like I said, any adjustments, Allen wrench, adjust the wheels, adjust the blade. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple machine. That's about it. Any other questions, feel free to email us. Thank you.